How is it possible for a Boeing 777 carrying 239 people to mysteriously vanish? Somewhere below the bottom of the Indian Ocean is where the answers will be found. Malaysia Airlines Flight 370, which was en route from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing on March 8, 2014, disappeared without a trace. Despite an extensive search effort, the cause of the plane's disappearance remains unknown. Various theories have been proposed, but none of them have been proven. The search for the aircraft was officially suspended by the Malaysian government in May 2018, and the fate of the plane and its passengers and crew remains a mystery. In this video, we will discuss the facts regarding Malaysia Flight 370 and what we know. Let's get into it. March 8, 2014. Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 departs Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, en route to Beijing, China, and reached a cruising altitude of 35,000 feet. The estimated flight time on the Boeing 777-200 was scheduled for 6 hours. The plane was carrying 239 souls on board, 12 working crew, and 227 passengers. The last automated position reported from the aircraft was sent at 1:07 a.m., and at 1:19 a.m., air traffic controllers received what would turn out to be the last voice transmission from the cockpit of the doomed jetliner. "Goodnight, Malaysian 370, a message that made no unusual assumptions. The aircraft had been flying seemingly incident-free when it mysteriously vanished. There were no distress signals from the cockpit, reports of bad weather, or mechanical problems, until the sign for MH370's transponder was turned off and vanished from air traffic control screens prior to entering Vietnamese airspace. When the airplane disappeared from civilian radar, many speculations due to the cause and conspiracy theories emerged, including a possible terrorist hijacking, mass failure of the aircraft's electrical system, or the deliberate act of a working crew member. These theories have yet to be proven, and when the aircraft was lost to radar, it initially didn't crash. Shocking new discoveries reveals the airplane kept flying. Revelations regarding the aircraft's flight path reveal it changed course and would never reach Beijing. No mayday call from the working pilots was ever received. Data reveals the airplane turned south and continued flying equipped with sufficient jet fuel. As MH370 continued flying, authorities would find their next resource in an unexpected location: space. An active satellite orbiting the Earth continued to exchange heartbeat signals with the aircraft over the Indian Ocean. The flight signal is recorded once every hour. The Inmarsat satellite last detected the plane in a remote part of the Indian Ocean, more than 1,500 miles from the southwest coast of Australia. This is one of the largest aviation mysteries in history. On occasion, planes do crash, but they simply don't vanish. Initial search efforts responded by scouring the vast possible wreckage site, initially expanding more than 46,000 square miles. The massive search area would turn out to be the most expensive in aviation history, with an estimated cost of $200 million. Responders began scouring the surface of the ocean for possible signs of a crash, including an oil slick at the wreckage site, any floating surface debris from passengers' personal property, and an expected shattered fuselage that would have been broken into thousands of pieces. But most importantly, the rescuers were looking for possible survivors. Rescue teams faced many challenges during the search efforts, including the vast ocean, deep water with depths up to 4,000 meters to the sea floor, frigid cold temperatures, and darkness. Months passed with no new information being released to the public. The highest quality equipment was being utilized to find the airplane. Initially, each search team's priority was to locate the underwater emergency location beacon that is equipment on board a Boeing aircraft and emits a distress signal when activated, but has a limited lifespan. Also, the ULB could have been damaged by the initial force of impact of the airplane against water, or that the signal was not transmitted due to possibility of metal covering the emergency equipment. Next, more advanced equipment was introduced during the search, like underwater microphones called hydrophones, and sonar scanners were used on the sea floor. The search area was also reduced to 23,000 square miles based on data received of where the plane possibly crashed. As the investigation continues, the major key elements fueling the search are the Inmarsat satellite calculations, as well as the Boeing company's flight performance data. It's one of the largest aviation mysteries in history, until a possible clue arrives. July 2015. A suspicious object is found off the beach of Reunion Island, a French department in the Indian Ocean off the coast of Africa. The item is called a flaperon, and the serial number matches to the missing airplane. Following this, more debris is discovered as pieces of the suspected wrecked airplane continue to wash ashore in Africa and on islands in the Indian Ocean, more than 4,500 miles away from the estimated crash site due to ocean currents. The finds are remarkable and go against what investigators were expecting initially, which was to find debris from the wreck site moving east by the water currents to Australia's beaches. Australian authorities confirm no aircraft debris related to MH370 has ever washed ashore their country's border. In total, more than 36 pieces of suspected airplane debris from the crash have washed up in Africa and surrounding islands and have been handed over to Malaysia authorities. March 2017. New details emerge as debris is discovered on a beach in Madagascar. It's a piece of the suspected aircraft. The new report discloses that the piece is likely the remnant of the left main landing gear trunnion door. This find is thought to be one of the most significant because it allows experts to analyze what happened in the final moments before crashing. The new evidence suggests that the crash was intentional and an active pilot was in the cockpit. Normally, in a planned water ditching, the landing gear is typically not released. The wheels of the airplane are not exposed when an airplane has to make an emergency landing on water to reduce the risk of impact force and sinking more quickly. The report also stated the combination of the high-speed impact designed to break up the aircraft and the extended landing gear designed to sink the aircraft as fast as possible both show a clear intent to hide the evidence of the crash. Also, further analysis upon impact, the landing gear door had been slashed by the engine compressor blade ring. The report details the fact that the damage was from the interior side to the exterior side of the debris item leads to the conclusion that the landing gear was highly likely extended on impact, which in turn supports the conclusion that there was an active pilot until the end of the flight. In command of the flight was Captain Zaharie Ahmad Shah and was reported as clinically depressed. Rumors included a split from his wife, as well as simulated flight plans from his home computer. Ever since the MH370 failed to arrive in Beijing in 2014, the circumstances surrounding its disappearance have remained a mystery. The evidence is unclear and leaves more speculation than answers. Will we ever find the gravesite of Malaysia Airlines 370? The families of the missing want answers, but a future hunt for the missing aircraft includes both time and money. The world stands by for the moment of discovery.